Death is not the end. Death is the beginning. Surrender to the flames of Ragnarok.
Really, guys? Hey everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name's Indigo.
And
A few moments later.
I'm Krug.
Welcome to another episode of GameGorgon. I'm pretty sure I already said that.
You did.
But we're going to be talking about Smite.
We are going to be talking about Smite.
We used to be like super heavy into Smite.
We did.
And then
that was our MOBA for a long time.
Yeah, for very
And then we fell out of the MOBA scene completely for a while. And then I got into League of Legends with some of our newly made friends, relatively newly made friends. And then I was like, this is really hard and everybody sucks, but I'm pretty good at Smite if I remember. And then I jumped back into Smite. And it's really fun. And
we played together.
Yeah, but he hates it, and
I don't hate Smite. Jesus Christ.
I tried to bring some of my League friends into Smite, and they think I'm dumb because they're bad at Smite. It's really great.
They don't understand like over the shoulder versus top down.
Yeah.
They're
like, this isn't isometric. What's my life? My monitor's broke. So the main thing we're here to talk about are the Season 5 changes in Smite. There are a bunch of changes, a lot of artistic changes, a bunch of stuff that's not small. All of it's actually kind of huge, but there's too much of it for us to go over all of it. So we're just gonna touch on some of the most important stuff and some of the stuff that we find most interesting. First of all, the new Ragnarok trailer is out. It's pretty fucking intense, and it's just kind of a cool little artistic thing. We're not gonna spend too much time on it. It's just pretty, and you should definitely take a look at it. Smite has a story behind it, which I don't know why I would care about. I mean, League, I guess, has a story behind it too.
Every MOBA it has a story behind it.
Yeah.
But they're all very just like
wishy-washy kind of. Well, and League has the funny situation of having like redacted like 90,000 things. Retconned, not redacted. Those are two different things. I meant retconned.
We're gonna be getting two new pantheons, Slavic and Voodoo, which is the one I'm most excited about. One, because it's cool, and two, because I was like, oh, are they going to move Nox over back there? And then I was like, nope,
that's just a skin.
Yeah, that's a skin that you just like to use.
It's literally the only skin I use with Nox, because I fucking love the voice actress is just so good at that voice, those voice lines. And so I actually thought the exact same thing. The big thing that we're going to be talking about, though, are the reworks to the Conquest map. This happens usually every season. And this season, I think, are some pretty substantial and interesting and great changes that I'm really excited to play in. First of all, it's 20% wider. The Conquest map is 20% wider. And the goal of this is to have rotations be more of a threat to the person making the rotation. So for example, if you're rotating from left to mid, it's gonna theoretically take you 20% longer to get back to where you came from. And so your opponent, your lane opponent, has more of an opportunity to push the lane before you get back. And obviously this is all assuming that it's 20% like evenly across the whole map.
And it's not just like
it's
on
not,
the left side.
Yeah, well no, the map is actually perfectly vertically symmetrical now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, horizontally symmetrical now. So it's like, before it wasn't, and it was just kind of like a weird balancing like point for them, but now it's gonna be less of a concern because it's the same, the top and bottom are exact mirrors of each other. I mean, the art obviously not because it's themed differently, but like the hitboxes for things are going to be the exact same, which I think is a great change. And the 20% wider thing I love because the Smite map has always felt really small to me. But I think that was just because it was closer than the League map being like all zoomed out and stuff. I don't know what the actual proportions are between those two things. But yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Another great change, and probably the one that I'm most excited about, is fog.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and it looks really pretty.
Yeah, so they're adding fog into the jungle, specifically in Smite, so that it's kind of a little more threatening when you're in the jungle. You're not going to be able to render stuff past a certain point, and I think that adds like so much flavor to the jungle. Like if you're not warded, if you're in an unwarded area and like you're about to round a corner or something and somebody pops out from the fog, that's like a threat. Like you could be surrounded for all you know. If the enemy has the area warded and you don't, they can be like outside of your line of vision, like surrounding you and waiting to collapse. I think the game's too fast paced for that specifically to happen.
Do you know what I'm curious about?
But it's cool thought.
I'm curious to see how fog affects characters like Thor, who go up into the air. and land
That's
down,
interesting.
is that area still going to be
have
foggy?
no
Because
fucking
it is
idea.
a distance.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's super interesting. I never thought about that. We don't have a lot, right? We've seen
Sneak peek and
sneak peeky stuff. So we have an image of what the jungle looks like from a lane. If you're looking from like the far side of the left lane into the jungle, and you can see like the fog spilling out. Looks fucking gorgeous. We also have an image of just like some of the scenery in the jungle, and you can kind of tell it's foggy. But in that screenshot, there isn't anything super far away.
Yeah.
So you can't really see like how it's gonna.
Well, and
gameplay.
you can't really tell like if there is another character there, like how, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they don't show that. Like it'd be interesting if they would like line up characters at different lengths,
Yeah.
and like side by side.
I don't think they're going to before they release, to be honest.
No. I think that's going to be like the, you know how they do their preview videos of
Sure.
abilities.
Right.
I think that would be very interesting.
That would be a
like
great way for them
5
to
meter,
explain,
10 meter,
yeah.
15.
And then have somebody walking like down that line to see when people become visible. That'd be cool. High res, get on that shit. Thank you.
that, or if they don't and we've got time, we could just
We
do
can
it.
just do it, yeah. That's true. So something else in the jungle is the camps in the jungle are actually going to be respawning way faster but worth less. And I think the stated goal that Hi-Rez had for this was that the jungle is going to be like its own entity, that the junglers shouldn't have to take time out of jungling to go and share with a lane because there are no more things in their jungle for them to take. So either like invade or like have to force a gank or just split a wave with one of the laners. Like they should just have another jungle place to go to. They also mentioned that even though the respawn timers for the camps is going down, the buff timers are gonna stay the same. So you're gonna be able to overlap your buffs and like keep them up pretty consistently. And also the value for splitting XP is gonna go down. So like, I think they're trying to force people into their role a lot more. So like, jungler, you have to be in the jungle because you're missing out on so much XP if you're not just constantly roaming the jungle.
And you're
then,
hurting lanes if you're hopping
yeah,
in.
and you're hurting lanes if you're hopping in because your share like percentage is way down, and if they share with you, that's gonna go way down too. Like, I think they're trying to force people into their role specifically. The jungle also has a new placement for the speed buff. It's going to be down by the tier 2, the center tier 2 tower, so that it's a lot harder for people to invade your speed buff, because then they're like, if you look at the mini map that we have and you look at where the speed buff is, try to find a way out. Like, unless you can jump over an entire length of a tower, you're pretty much
Thor.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, you could Thor ult out, but then you're down in ult. Like, you're right, it's possible. It's never gonna not be possible.
It's possible, it just doesn't make sense.
You're gonna get collapsed on it
Yeah.
immediately. Like, if there's one thing I would ward all the time, it'd be the speed buff, because if somebody's ballsy enough, like they're
that.
basically just like, hey, please come gank me. I'm way out of position.
Yeah.
We're level 6. I'm gonna die. So those are our thoughts on the new Smite stuff. There's a ton more stuff. Click the link. There's a big mega thread in Reddit that you can read through to find all the cool, juicy details. While you're here, let us know what you think down in the comments. If you haven't played Smite, f***ing try it. It's really fun.
It's free.
It's free. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to do the whole hero rotation, microtransaction like thing, but
Or you can, pay a one-time fee and get
Yeah.
all of the heroes and all of the
okay, this
future
is starting
heroes.
to sound like a f***ing advertisement. It's not. We're in no way sponsored by Hi-Rez Studios, but
But if they wanted to.
if they wanted to, I'd take it. If you there's a hero pack that you pay like $35, I think it was when I bought it like years ago. And you get every hero in perpetuity for the rest of the lifetime of the game. So there's no microtransactions, just for skins and like voice packs and stuff, cosmetic stuff. So that having been said, we've been GameGorgon. My name is Crew. You can get me at QueueTimes on Twitter.
You can get me, I'm Indigo, and you can get me on Twitter at IndigoQT, and you can reach both of us on Twitter at _QueueTimes. Bye, guys.